tuning in to
WPSP, it's the podcast. We got takes, make picks, get sidetracked. Football and fights and some other stuff too. That's what we talk about, but who's the crew? Aaron Man and Chris Miller are the hosts. We sit around a table and we talk about sports. So let's get it started, we're ready to go. Now turn up your volume, cause here's the show.
Alrighty, howdy, and thanks for tuning back into WPSP. As you might notice for this week 4 episode, it's looking a little different around here. Life is life, schedules are schedules, so Aaron and I couldn't get together for this one, but I'll try to ramble on. I got all his picks here, though, so you'll get to hear his opinion. And his matters more, according to what we're looking at now. Counting last night's game. Yeah, last night. We weren't able to get the episode out before Thursday night game. But counting that, we both picked that right, Seattle. I'm looking at 32-17 for my picks on the season, and Aaron is looking at 36-13, so he's sitting pretty there. So yeah, I'm going to ramble through this real quick, but before I get into that, just one quick shout out to Western New York's most famous radio celebrity, which would be PDJ the Z-Man Zeller from WBTA. Well, him and myself will be doing some commentary for a high school football game Saturday at 1 p.m. tomorrow. It's Alexander Pembroke versus Haverling. So if you're looking for some background noise while you're doing your chores on a Saturday afternoon or driving around, you can tune in to WBTA. I think that's at 100.1 FM, 106.1 FM, 1490 AM, or the WBTA app. So anyways, let's get into these games here. Thursday night, Aaron and I both picked that right. Seattle beat Arizona Cardinals. That was a close game, though. I saw it was 23-20. I don't really know many details of the game. The only other clip I saw was a funny clip of Jason Myers sniffing on some smelling salts and kicking the game-winning field goal. So that had to feel pretty baller. So moving on from that, and that was a close game, and I thought it would be. But moving on from that, another close game that I'm having trouble picking, and I wish Aaron was here too to kind of hear his opinion on this game. But this is the Minnesota Vikings and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the cool thing about this game is they're headed to Ireland, and that's kind of why I got a little bit of Irish swag on today. I got the Parting Glass. That's a bar up in Saratoga, but they got Guinness there, and they got Guinness there, and I got Guinness here. Let's see. Now this might be a disaster, though. You know how these things are with their all, oh boy, nitrous balls or whatever it is. Let's pour a little of that out. Now, I'm not too skilled at this, but, yeah. So while I'm pouring this, we can have a little quiz. Maybe I can put it on Spotify or YouTube, put it in the comments or whatever. What percentage of alcohol do you think a Guinness is? Just looking at it. Some people might be more aware. But, yeah, put your guesses in the comments. I know, well, maybe it's right on here. Man, I wish I knew how to read. Oh, I see it. Okay. I know the answer. Now, normally you try to split the G on these, so I'll try to split an imaginary G. Maybe I'll put it in post. I don't know. Chop that baby off. Okay, enough of that. Rambling on. Pittsburgh and Minnesota, this is a tough game for me to pick. I've gone back and... Well, that's the wrong pick. Oops. I've gone kind of back and forth on this one. Yeah, I don't know. It's tricky. Looking at the Vikings and the Bengals, their game last week, the Vikings took care of business there. But is that more of Jake Browning and a combination, the Bengals' crappy defense and Jake Browning? But Carson Wentz, he was formidable. He did what he had to do, and when you got weapons on Minnesota like that, that helps out. Pittsburgh, I didn't get to watch that game, but from reading some of the comments and watching a few highlights, it sounded like Pittsburgh should have won that game by more. So it was closer than the score made it seem. But that's concerning to me. I don't know what created that result, if that was like they weren't finishing drives. But it sounded like Patriots were making a lot of mistakes and Pittsburgh wasn't taking advantage of those. But I think Minnesota's defense might be better than the Patriots, and Pittsburgh's kind of vulnerable. They're vulnerable just looking at the stats, and I think Minnesota's offense could have a higher upside. I could see this going either way, but I'm going to go Skull Minnesota Vikings. I'd like Pittsburgh to win, kind of Pittsburgh homer, but I'm going to pick Vikings here. Aaron also picked the same on this one. Moving on to, I think this should be an easier pick. Oh, that's why these are all messed up. I'm looking at my season projections, not my weekly. Here we go. Okay, but this next game here, and by the way, that one overseas, I think that one's 9:30 in the morning or something for Sunday, so that's a nice game to wake up to. This next game here is the Washington Commanders at the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I don't know what happened in that Falcons game, but to get blown out, not score a single point to the Panthers, I don't know what's going on there. After they just beat the Vikings the week before that, so it's hard to do football math here. It looked like they missed a few kicks. I don't know what was happening there. And in that game, Panthers and Falcons, that's going to confuse me a little bit a few games down the road when I talk about Panthers and Patriots. But anyways, back to this. This one's kind of an easier pick. I could see Atlanta maybe getting back together, making it close. But I'm going to go with the Washington Commanders. I don't know if Jaden Daniels will be back or not. I might have saw he's practicing. Don't know. Either way, going with the Commanders here. And Aaron is doing the same. So far, we're aligned on 3 picks. Up next, we got Mikey Galton's Los Angeles Chargers going against Justin Huang's New Jersey Giants. And I think it's Jackson Dart time is what I heard. I think Jackson Dart will be getting the start. Dart for the start. Smoke darts, good for the heart. I don't know about that part. Anyways, this one's another easy pick. But the Chargers have been on a roll, and I could always see them just dropping a funky one. It's kind of like the Bills will do that. A lot of teams do that. And I could see the Chargers dropping a funky one here, but I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to go with the favorite. I think it's pretty clear. I'm picking the Chargers here, and Aaron also picked the same. Sorry, New Jersey. Moving on, we have an AFC South matchup, the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans. This is another one that I think is closer than it may seem on paper. I think Tennessee is pretty booty, but Houston, I don't think, has been living up to their potential. And we saw it in C.J. Stroud's sophomore slump last year, too. I don't know if we're seeing more of the same of that here in his, what would it be, junior year? I don't know. I guess you call it a third year. But their defense keeps them in games, and they got a mean defense. And I think when you look at it, brass tacks, you got to go with the Texans here. I could see the Titans getting one over on them. Kind of with a lot of these games, you could see that happening. But I'm going with the Texans here, and so is my co-host, Aaron Mann. So we're locked in Texans. Up next, this one could be a good matchup, and it usually has been in the past. Philadelphia Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, let's talk a little bit about last week with the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams. I picked the Rams, and I thought I was sitting pretty. And actually, this might get me on a little bit of a side tangent rant, but I picked the Rams, and I think they scored a bunch of points. I don't know if it was unanswered, but they were sitting pretty good throughout the first half. And then at a certain point, I believe Philadelphia just went on a tear of a lot of unanswered points, excuse me. And, yeah, I don't think the Rams answered back. And this might have been one of the games with a block-kicked field goal. I saw some stat that there's 2 block-kick touchdowns, not a block-kick field goal. Block field goal for a touchdown. But I saw that there was a couple of those this week. But yeah, I mean, that shows the Eagles, they can show up when they need to. Because, I mean, the Rams, I think I say it on here a lot, they're nothing to shake a stick at. You know, they're a good team. I thought they were going to win. I thought it was anybody's game. But the Eagles came away, and the Buccaneers, what the heck happened with the Buccaneers? Did they just lose to someone? Or no, they almost lost to the Jets, but they won. I think Mike Evans is injured. I should really be verifying all this stuff, but I'm pretty sure Mike Evans' injury. Let's see here. Evans ruled out. So, yeah, given that, it makes it a little less close. And just because the Eagles are a more complete team, I think, I don't think we've seen their full potential yet. This happened, I want to say last season, where it took them a while. It was either last season or 2 seasons ago. They kind of all blend together. But they have potential, and they might be rolling now after that Rams game. So I'm going fly, Eagles, fly on this one. The Eagles are better than the Eagles, and Aaron Mann agrees. So we're on a roll. Aaron Mann and I are aligned thus far. Now, this next game, this one's, I don't know, a tough one for me, but a lot of the experts, most of them are picking the home team, and that's the Carolina Panthers and the New England Patriots. But I think I was getting a little recency bias. At first, throughout the week, I was rolling with the Panthers. I was like, yeah, they've locked in. Their defense is good. What they did to the Falcons. And I was just kind of low on the Patriots because they had kind of a sloppy game against the Steelers. I don't know, but I feel like the Patriots will figure out a way to expose Bryce Young. There's 2 picks in this week where I want to go with the team with the cat mascot, and there's another one coming up. This one's tough. I mean, to make it interesting, man. I don't know. I have it as New England right now. I'm sticking with it. I'm going to stick with New England Patriots. I can't go back and forth on this much longer. Aaron also has the same pick. Moving on from that, this, I think, is one of the easiest picks to make this week. Now, this is the New Orleans Saints at Buffalo. But we said that last week, too. We said, Dolphins, Buffalo Bills, that, like, if you do confidence picks on ESPN, that's the one you put for the 16 points. But, it got a little stressful in that game. I was watching it at my parents' house. This is the Bills-Dolphins game last week, Thursday. And I watched, the first quarter or like 1.5 quarters, and we were sitting pretty good. And I was like, all right, I can drive home, and if we're ahead enough, I can go to bed. I get home, the game's tied up, and the Dolphins are going down the field, something like that. I was like, oh, my God, I'm going to have to watch this till the end. And that is what I had to do. But James Cook was cooking. Maybe we should have cooked with him more. I don't know. I don't care. We still scored 30 points. We still won. Thank you. I think it was it Tyrell Dotson? I think it was Tyrell Dotson. I get him confused with, I think it was, No. It's not, no. It's not Ty. Who got the, let's see. Maybe it was. Who got, I feel like an idiot. Who got the interception in Dolphins-Bills game? Oh, man, it's going to be Tyrell Williams. No, it's not. Terrell Bernard. Oh, my God. I don't know. Oh, my God. Whatever. Brain fart. I'm moving on. If Bills fans were here, they would frickin' ream me right now. Anyways, Aaron and I are both picking the Bills. I think they'll take care of business here. The next game up, which should be pretty easy to pick, but you never know. It's just the Cleveland Browns and Detroit Lions. Now, the Browns just beat the Packers. So I don't know what was going on there. I really should watch more games, but, I don't know. In Detroit, game of the week, I would say. These Ravens always end up in the game of the week, but I love that the Ravens are losing in them. Bills, Ravens, game of the week, easily. Detroit Ravens, game of the week. Detroit, I think they're getting back to business. And I'm glad they knocked down the Ravens a peg. That was nice to see. Maybe I'll get a little ahead of things on the Ravens. Derrick Henry, 3 games, 3 fumbles. Man, that's a little out of character. Either way, love to see it. This one, I'm going Detroit Lions, getting the job done here, and Aaron has picked exactly the same. Now, this next game, I put it as pretty close. I don't know how to feel about it. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars and San Francisco 49ers. And this, similar to the Panthers-Patriots game, was one where I was picking the Jags all week. But I think that's why I have less correct picks than most people, because I'm picking all these stupid picks. So this week I got to try to lock in. And, so this one, I'm going to go with the 49ers now. I still can't trust the Jags. I know they're 2-1, but what kind of 2-1 is that? They have potential. The big news with the 49ers is Nick Bosa. I don't know if he's out for the season. I don't know. There was a pretty big injury. Let's look that one up. We got time. Got nothing going on. Nick Bosa, injury. What do we got? Oh, my God. Oh, that's terrible. ACL. Jeez. Yeah, that's rough. Oh, that sucks. Man, that's huge. That's big. But I'm sure they'll figure it out and fill that hole on defense. Yeah, I'm still going to stick with the 49ers on this pick. I could see it going either way, though. This is one of those close games. There's a lot of, this was just like last year. There's a lot of parity now. There's a lot of unknowns, a lot of injuries, too. I don't know if Mac Jones or Brock Purdy's going to be in. I don't know. But we're both going 49ers. This next game, you got the leaders of the AFC South, the Indiana Jones Colts, going against Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are good, and the Colts are surprisingly good, and Jonathan Taylor is cooking, and Indiana Jones is cooking now that he's in a better team, better system. Maybe that coordinator from the Eagles that's over with the Colts is working out a little better. I don't know. But when it comes to this, I think the Rams are a more proven, a more complete team. They are home, and that doesn't mean anything because it's Los Angeles. But I'm going to go with the Rams here. This is another one I could see the Colts somehow pulling it off, but I don't see it quite as close as some of the other games that I've previously mentioned. So I'm going with the Rams here. Aaron is as well. This next game, Chicago Bears and the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't know. I confidently picked the Bears. I could see it going either way. I forget why I did that. Oh, yeah. They did what we mentioned could happen last week. They upset the Cowboys. Now, but we always say, this team could upset, this team could upset. So we kind of cast a wide net on that. But, I'm going with the Bears. Da Bears. We're going with Da Bears here. And Aaron is as well, I believe, actually. Let me verify that one. I'm pretty sure. Oh, let's see. We got all his picks here. Oh, yeah. He's going with Da Bears. All right. So we're both going with the Bears there. I really don't have much more to say. This next game, actually, looking at all the games, maybe not the closest game. Could be the game of the week, though. It's probably a game a lot of people are going to be paying attention to. It's 2 teams I don't like. It's 2 teams Aaron doesn't like. It's the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs. I think Baltimore normally has the Chiefs number here, and the Chiefs just ain't the Chiefs. They got that win against the Giants. Was it closer than thought at one point? I can't remember. Wait, I got the clip I haven't looked up is someone said, or I saw Pat Mahomes stripped the ball out of a defensive player. So I guess add that to his resume. If I was that defensive player, I think I'd be pretty ticked off. That's kind of humiliating. But, yeah. But with this one, I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens, man, I don't know what is up with them. How they're a top 3 team easily with everything they have. Maybe top 2. I'll say top 3. Top 4, top 3. But they've done this so many times, all the stats. I wish I had looked it up and had the research. We need a statistician on here or something. Our budget just can't afford it, though. Anyways. But all these games where they get up and then they blow it in the fourth quarter. I mean, last week, it's just the list goes on. But I'm gonna pick them here, and I guess this one doesn't really matter to me in terms of being a Bills fan because they're both teams I would prefer to lose. So no matter who wins, because it's just early in the season. I mean, it's fun to see the Chiefs lose, but it'd be fun to see the Ravens lose. But I'm picking Baltimore here. Aaron is as well. I'm pretty sure. I was just looking at that. All right, we got 3 games left here. Yeah, Ravens. Okay. We got 3 games left here. Green Bay, Packers, Dallas Cowboys. I always feel like these guys match up a lot. Maybe it's because they're both NFC teams, but they always have games. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. They have games. No matter who's on either side, they have games. Maybe my history isn't serving, my memory isn't serving me because there's probably been blowouts. But I don't know. It just feels like a good game. When you see Green Bay Packers, Dallas Cowboys, sounds like classic football. And I think it could be a good game. I don't think Dallas is that good. That might be defensive problems. I don't know. I'm really not read up on many teams this year. I don't got time for that. But anyways, I think this will be Green Bay's get-right game. I think they're pissed off about losing to the Browns. I think Green Bay's pretty damn good. That's a tough division to be in. I think it's Green Bay or Detroit's division to have. I think if Detroit's on all cylinders, it's Detroit's. I don't know how to feel about Jordan Love. He's a good quarterback, but I mean, maybe he's comparable to Goff, but I don't know. I'm getting sidetracked. Detroit's just, they're loaded, man. But Green Bay's good, too. Their defense is great, especially with Parsons over there. Oh, which reminds me, it's the Parsons reunion game. How could we forget? Is Parsons going to sack Dak Prescott? He said it would feel weird or terrible. I can't remember, but I bet it happens. But I'm going with Green Bay. Aaron's going with Green Bay. So we're locked in on that. Now, that could be... So one of those 2 games I just talked about, Green Bay, Dallas, Baltimore, KC, either one of those could be the game of the week. Oh, yeah. Minnesota, Pittsburgh, not the game of the week, but that'd be a fun one. Anyways, 2 games left. This one I put as maybe the closest, most unknown game. It's a AFC East matchup, New Jersey Jets and the Miami Dolphins. It's the toilet bowl. It's the 0-3 bowl, but someone has to win, right? Or there could be a tie. I don't know if we haven't had a tie yet this year, have we? This would be a fun one to pick as a tie, but that doesn't count for anything. But yeah, I'm going with the Jets here, whether it's Justin Fields or Tyrod. I think Fields was in concussion protocol. I'm going with the Jets here. Aaron's going with the Jets here. I really don't have much to say about these teams other than I'm happy they're both 0-3. And moving on to the final game of the week. This would have been a more interesting game had not Joe Burrow got injured because it would have been a very... kind of a lopsided game. It reminds me of the Seattle-Denver Super Bowl from half a decade or probably even more now. Oh my God, this is 2013. Yeah, that's more than a decade ago. Anyways, that Super Bowl where you had the defensive powerhouse, the Legion of Boom, the 12th man, Seattle Seahawks, and then you had Peyton Manning, old as dirt. No, not well. He was old, but I'm getting mixed up with when he won the 50th Super Bowl or whatever. That's when he's old as dirt and his defense carried him. Anyways, their crazy offense. That might have been the year he set the touchdown record. Julius Thomas, Demaryius Thomas. Was Wes Welker there too? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But this kind of reminded me of a Walmart version of that because you'd have Cincinnati, great offense. God, awful defense. Then you have Denver, really known for their defense, and not a terrible offense. Just, middle of the road, comparable to Seattle's. I think Seattle's in the Super Bowl is better, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm getting at. It's like the Dollar General version, but now it's not. Now it's just Cincinnati's a garbage fire, which kind of sucks. I was just in that city, a few weeks ago. The place is It's a cool city, but actually it doesn't suck because I don't like the Bengals. As both the Steelers and the Bills fans, it's just, I don't like the Bengals. But the Bengals is the Bungles, the Bungles is the Bengals. But I'm going with Denver here. I don't think Jake Browning's the answer. It'd be interesting to see if they're going to look at trade candidates because I can't see them just wanting to lay another stinker again here and just wait for Joe Burrow to come back because they were close to the playoffs last year. But Joe Burrow was there the whole time as their defense. But you know who's out there? Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is out there. Could you see him trading for that? I don't know. I'm not up to date in the news. Oh, I'm going to get sidetracked again. Do you think the Jets will sell Breece Hall? I don't know. We'll leave it in the comments. I don't know. But I'm going with Denver. Aaron's going with Denver. That's a wrap. 16 games, up and down. Aaron and I are locked in. We've picked all the same teams. I think this has happened a couple times. I know it's happened at least once. And when it did happen, both of us picked every single game right. Is that going to happen this week? I don't know. It'd be cool because we haven't done it with 16 games, only 14. But, yeah, that's a wrap. I'm pretty sure Aaron will be back for the Week 5 picks here, But, yeah, go Bills.